Hello and welcome to this fiery mountain flow. So for today, I suggest that you have some type of props, either yoga blocks, or if you have any Nalgene bottles or bottles similar to that length and that width, just place them at the front of your mat. You can do without if need be. You can always use a toilet paper roll. Those might not be quite as supportive, but play around, see what you feel like, and meet me back here. And then we'll all come down onto our backs. And set your feet up so they're hip width apart. Bring your sit bones right alongside the heels. Let the palms face up. You can drop the knees in towards one another to start. Close the eyes. Slide the shoulder blades towards one another. And so the intention of this sequence is to move our way up a mountain. Keep building the heat, the tapas, that energy, that determination, that fire that grounds us. And stay strong through our core. And as we settle into our mats, the eyelids soft, the breath steady, think about 4 aspects of yourself that you hold on to with a little bit of resentment. Something that you may have been labeled since a child, or maybe a certain part of your personality or certain behavior that really aggravates you, and yet you can't seem to shake it off. Once you have those 4 components clearly written in your mind, repeat the words, I am not. Let that settle. And try to say it to yourself firmly, as if you believe it. And then think of one behavior, trait, characteristic that you would like to represent more. You would like to envelop more in your life. You'd like to draw inward. And for this one, once you have it, set an intention of I invite blank into my life. Or I am blank. Let that settle right at the heart center. Feel into that. We're going to keep working with these statements of I am not and I am blank or I invite blank through this sequence. So we'll be working on a 4 count, taking 4 poses, 4 pulses of the poses, holding a strong hold for 40 seconds, and then a passive hold for 40 seconds. All right? You don't need to worry about the times or the count. I've got that under control for you. Let's bring our hands to the hips and a full inhale through the nose, clearing breath out the mouth. And so those 4 counts, we want to keep thinking about how we are not. And we build through the heat and we build through the strength of our core to expel whatever that is. Any tension, any holding, any grasping. And then in the strong hold, we really commit to letting that go. And in the passive hold, we invite in. Let's get started. Inhale, tilt the pelvis towards the sky as you drop the low back down to the floor. Exhale, curl the sit bones down, feel the belly lift up. Inhale to lift up through tailbone, and exhale to tilt in the opposite direction. 2 more rocks of the pelvis. Feel your shoulders settle down to the floor. Find lots of length through the spine. And release the hands down. The next inhale, press down through the feet, the hips reach up. Exhale, lower down. Imagine as though you have a block between the thighs. Activate through the legs. And as you press up through the hips, can you feel your feet gripping into the mat and send the heels towards your shoulders? See if you can send the middle of the chest, the sternum, up towards the face. So really root down through the shoulder blades. Then we lower our seat to the floor. Bring our knees so that we have a 90-degree angle through the legs. Straighten through the left leg. Take the hands behind the hamstring. Option 1, you can let the right leg hang out here, or straighten through the right leg. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, and exhale. Imagine as though your legs were scissors. Squeeze the thighs towards one another. Point the heels away rather than the toes. Stay engaged through the core. Have the low ribs down towards the floor. And then we bend back into the knees. So you should feel a gentle press down through the belly button, but there's still a very slight hollowing underneath the low back. And your pelvis is right at that midline between the tuck and the untuck. Press down through the right hand. Straighten through left leg, left arm. Exhale, come back. Inhale to reach. Maybe this time elbow comes towards the knee. And inhale. You may start feeling the heat rise, especially through the core. Exhale, left hand meets the thigh, and switch sides. So we're starting to walk up this mountain, and we don't really know where it's going, but we know who we were when we arrived. And as we wander, we start to notice things that we may not have seen before. So we let those things brew and let those things cultivate, and hold here. Squeeze the hands into the thighs into the hands. And we give ourselves permission to say, I am not. Feel into the breath, find that Ujjayi breath. Gentle constriction through the back of the throat as you breathe in and out through the nose. So it sounds a little bit like Darth Vader. An ocean breath, that sound you hear when you're listening in through a shell. And stay steady. Keep breathing, keep pushing yourself, remembering that everything has an end. Release the feet down to the floor. Walk the soles of the feet together, drop the knees wide, turn the palms to face up. Close the eyes. I am. Invite that intention inward as you settle your back body down to the floor. And feel that expansiveness, feel that potential through your front body. Maybe you notice something that you enjoy on the hike, a viewpoint, something that really shifts that perspective in your mind. Then we walk the knees together. You can use your hands to support. You drop over to one side, roll your way up into a tabletop position. And tuck through the toes and walk the hands forward so that you come into a modified plank. So you have one long line from the knees to the top of your head. And we tuck the chin in. As we exhale, round through the spine, press the middle of the shoulder blades away from one another. Inhale, send the chest forward and down. Exhale to curl. And pulse here. Find a suction cup with the hand so that you're not putting too much pressure into the wrists. So there's a slight hollowing underneath the palms as you press down through the fingers and the outer edges of the hands. Then we inhale, send the head away. As you exhale, tuck the elbows in towards the ribs. Find a push-up, come halfway down. Inhale, press up. And exhale to lower. Know that you can adjust your body so that you feel strong, you feel stable in this pose. And then feel into the front of your hips. Imagine as though you were zipping up a really tight sweater and squeeze those hip bones towards one another. You've got this. We'll take one more. Lots of integrity as you tell yourself that you are not. And then we send the sit bones over top of the knees. Walk the hands into step underneath the shoulders, finding a tabletop. Sweep the left leg back. Turn the toes to face towards the right. So they're not going to turn all the way. It's just bringing the left hip a little bit more square. Then we inhale, kick the heel up, stay strong through the core. Exhale, lower it even with the hips. Inhale, kick. Exhale, lower. Two more. Keep lengthening through the top of your head. Keep a gentle gaze down to the floor, right ahead of your hands. And then we lower the knee and switch sides. This feels like a lot of the wrists. You can always come onto the fists. We take our 4 pulses on the right side. You can probably hear in my breath that the energy is building. We lower down. And take the left leg back. Option to bring the right arm forward, right palm faces towards the left. Inhale, open through the chest. As you exhale, curl the knees and elbows towards one another. Inhale, open, gaze can follow the right thumb. Exhale, curl. And as you kick back through the left leg, see if you can press the heel away as though you were kicking against a wall. And then this time, we'll reach back and lower the hands and knees down to the floor. Setting up for the opposite side, straighten through the right leg. Press the foot back, reach the left arm forward. Know you can always let that hand stay on the floor. And just curl the knee in towards the head instead of the elbow. As we keep walking up this mountain, we start to feel ourselves expending a little more energy. And maybe we realize, that pack that I'm carrying is holding just a little too much. And so we think to ourselves, what is it that I can let go of? What is it that I can get off of myself, get out of this backpack, and help me make it a little bit easier up towards the top, up towards the peak. So coming into plank, we hold here. Option to come onto your forearms or onto your fists if this feels like too much. Press down through those suction cup hands, lift up back through the back of the shoulders. Keep lifting up through the heels. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Send the head away from the heels. Keep breathing. Feel the burn. Feel that tapas. Feel that energy, especially through the core. Just when you feel like you can't hold, see if you can hold a little bit longer. And then release the knees wide, keep the toes tucked. Shift the sit bones over the heels, let the forehead go. Maybe the hands walk through the inside of the arms and the palms face up. Feel the shoulders round. Steady through the breath. I am. You've released whatever it is from your backpack, and suddenly you feel a little bit lighter and a little more confident in your potential to climb up that mountain. It's a little bit easier, but it's still a lot of work. You might even find that you regret or you fear letting go of whatever it was you let go, and that's okay. Acknowledging that is step number 1. Sweep the hands out in front of you. The gaze can come between the fingers. Spread the hands wide. Index fingers point forward. Retain that suction cup through the hands. Press down through the feet. Rise up into a downward facing dog. Curl the armpits in towards the ears. Let the head be heavy. Look in between the thighs. Inhale. Lift both heels up. Stack them over top of the toes. Exhale. Come down. Inhale up. Exhale, release. 2 more. This time, as we inhale, send the heels forward, send the shoulders forward, coming into a plank. Exhale, sweep back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward. Head reaches away from the heels. Exhale, release. Let the movement come through the core. Stay firm and strong through the shoulders. Take 1 more. And then settle into down dog. Walk the feet towards one another if you have them hip width apart. Inhale, left leg sweeps up to sky. Point the left toes towards the right heel. We inhale, pulse. Exhale, down. Inhale. Exhale. Find one long line from the fingertips to the left heel. Take 1 more pulse. Lower the left foot down to the floor. Right leg sweeps up. Find a squaring through the hips, and then we pulse. Try and make the movement slow and intentional. May feel a little bit harder, but that is part of the practice of releasing. And then lower the foot down. Lift up left heel. Exhale, bend through left knee. Sweep the knee towards the left elbow. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, come forward. So we're getting to the steeper part of the mountain. The legs are feeling maybe a little bit shaky. And that is okay. Right leg sweeps up. As long as we stay strong in our foundation, we remind ourselves that we are not. We suspend the labels that we have created for us that are generating any doubt. Come back into down dog. Option 1, hold down dog. Option 2, release the forearms down so that the elbows are underneath the shoulders. Coming into a dolphin, the toes can walk a little closer forward. We hold here. Release the head. Let the head look towards between the thighs. And our wrists stay in line with the elbows. And we press down through the forearms to rise up. keep sending the sit bones up to the sky, sending the heels down. And know that you can always take puppy pose with the knees down on the floor and the arms in down dog if you feel like that's what you need. Just challenge yourself without causing pain. Exhale, let the knees draw really wide. You can return to that child's variation we took, or take the feet wide as well. Walk the knees even wider, finding a frog. And then you can stack one fist over top of the other. Let the forehead settle down. Settle into the breath. I am, I invite. Keep dropping your hips down towards the floor and open up through the chest. Offer expansion through the spine as you send the sit bone and the head away from one another. And see if you can smoothen out the breath. You're at another viewpoint. You have that moment to pause. You have that moment to soak it all in. And press down into the forearms. Walk the knees in, the feet in. Tuck up onto the toes. And walk your fingertips towards the middle of your mat. Then send the sit bones up. Walk the feet forward, finding a forward fold in the middle of your mat. Feet come hip width apart. Let the head go completely. As you exhale, bend through the knees a lot. Send the sit bones towards the heels. Inhale, straighten through the legs. Imagine as though your upper body is doing nothing. So do all the work through the seat. Exhale to drop. I am not. Inhale. Take one more. Inhale. And exhale, be really heavy. Inhale, half lift, hands to shins, flat backs, and sit bone and head away. Exhale to bend the knees, fold down. Inhale, sweep up, reach forward. Exhale, release. Two more. And exhale. This time we inhale. As we exhale, let ourselves walk our way towards the blocks at the front of our mat. Find them on our mat. Inhale, halfway lift. So you want the blocks to be really comfortable and sturdy underneath the shoulders. We root down through the right foot. Inhale, left foot kicks up. You might want to walk the right foot a little bit closer towards midline. Curl the left toes towards the right heel. Send the head away. And we pulse. Inhale up. Exhale to neutral. Inhale. Exhale. Stay firm through the right foot. Press down through the right big toe mount. One more. Keep gazing ahead of the blocks. Lower the left foot down. Switch spots with the right foot. Sweep the right heel up. Try not to dump in through the shoulders. Really engage through the core. Turn those toes towards the left and you kick up on an inhale. Exhale back to center. It's not a drastic movement. None of these really are. But you should feel that fire, especially through the legs. Squeeze the inner thighs towards one another. And lower right foot down. Inhale, left leg sweeps up. As we exhale, bend through right knee, bend through left knee, curl the left knee towards the forehead as you round the chin in. Inhale, open up, open through the chest, maybe look forward. Exhale, we curl. Detach from any labels that you are giving yourself as you feel the shakiness, as you feel the heat. Trust that there is the top, there is the peak, and that whatever you find there will be worth it. Sweep the leg back, lower it down to the floor. Inhale, right leg sweeps back, open through the chest. Exhale, bend into the knees and round. Press up. Stay soft through the wrists and the hands. Let the movement come through the legs. Curl that chin and look towards the belly. And then right leg comes down. Walk the feet wide. Send the seat down. The arms sweep up. Moving into your chair. Turn the palms to face back. Squeeze the pinky fingers towards one another. Nice. And breathe here. And notice that my low back isn't curving. I'm not dumping through the belly. I'm staying engaged through the core. I'm setting my low ribs down towards the hips. See if you can sink the seat any further towards the floor. You've got this. Feel the burn imagine as though you have a block between the thighs, and then press down through the outer edges of your feet. Good. Keep rooting and sending the sit bones away from the fingers. Then we fold our way forward. Walk our feet out towards the edges of the mat. Point the toes away. Send our sit bones down towards the floor. Few options here. You can take one block or two blocks. Sneak it underneath the seat. It's a really good way to root in. And then you can choose to fold forward, let the fingertips walk really wide. Or you can stay tall, press the thumbs in towards the heart. And repeating to yourself, I invite blank. I am blank. So we're at that top viewpoint. We're feeling the heat. Maybe we need a snack. Maybe we need to invite the breath to slow down. So we use this pause to recuperate. And we steady through the body using the power of our breath. And trying not to anticipate that we have to make it back down the mountain. And so this hike that we're going on, it's the same trip down as we took on the way up. And that means that we know what's coming, which gives us a little more power and a little more relief because we know that it has an ending and we know that we survived it once and we'll survive it again. And the downhill always feels just a little bit easier. So we press into the feet to rise up. Maybe move that block ahead of us. And then the seat comes down as the hands sweep up. And we tell ourselves that we are not the labels that we have given ourselves. We are none of those labels that are telling us that we are not a chance making it down. Can't go through that again. Instead, we remember the tricky rock parts, the little obstacles, the little climbs, and we use those to stay strong, stay grounded, knowing that we can move past them. Stay steady. See if you can send the sit bones back, the arms up, the chest forward. Keep pressing through big toe mounds, digging through the outer edges of the feet. You've got this. And pour down over your blocks. Whew. Walk the left foot into midline. Right leg sweeps back. Inhale here. Exhale, bend through right knee. Send the right knee towards the forehead. Curl through the chin. Inhale, press back. Exhale, we round. 2 more. Feel the strength of your left leg rooting you down as you send the head away on the inhales. Lower the right foot. Sweep over to the left side. Find your curl. Bend through that right knee. Kick back. Kick the heel back. Maybe your clothes are starting to get a little bit soggy. That's okay. We're on our way back down. We're on our way back to the warmth of our car. Just keep repeating to yourself that I am not. Right leg lifts. Inhale, pulse. Exhale, lower. Keep turning that right hip towards the left, keeping the pelvis square. Lower the right leg. Sweep to the left. Inhale, we pulse. Send the head away. Keep rooting back through the right hip. Exhale, lower down. Blocks come ahead of us. We find our hands to our shins, halfway lift. Exhale, bend through the knees, forward fold. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. 2 more. Reach sit bones away from the head. And then stay in the fold. Keep the upper body heavy. We inhale, send the sit bones up. Exhale, bend the knees a lot, send sit bones towards the floor. Inhale, we come up. And exhale, we lower. Moving with your breath, try to make it fluid. And as you walk your way down the mountain, notice that you're not building anymore. You actually have less to do. So while the effort may feel like a lot, you're over halfway through the obstacles. Walk the knees forward and wide. Take the feet out wide. again, this time taking opposite fist over, or you can bring palms on top of one another. You can always move into that child's variation with the toes tucked. I am, and I invite. What can you release to invite more space for invitation of that intention? Move down through the forearms. Settle the forearms in line with the shoulders as you tuck through the toes, walk the knees back. Prepping for our dolphin pose, we point the index, or between the index and middle fingers, towards the front of our mat. Spread the fingers wide, wrist in line with the elbows. When we tuck through the toes, inhale, knees lift. Maybe walk the feet a little more forward, and let the head go between the thighs. Know you can always come into a down dog or a puppy if this feels like a lot for you today. See if you can curl the armpits towards the ears still, press the biceps in towards the head, but keep spreading the collarbones away. So we're not actually squeezing the head with our arms. They're hanging out a little further away. Keep lifting the sit bones up. And don't worry too much about dropping down through the heels. Focus more on the core and more on the engagement through the forearms. More on the opening and activation through the shoulders. And then we press our hands into the floor, lift the elbows up. Walk the hands a little bit wider, coming into our down dog. Maybe the feet walk back slightly. Root down through the left foot as we send the left leg up to the sky. Inhale, kick the heel back. Exhale, curl the knee in towards the elbow. And so just because we're on the down slope doesn't mean there's not still work to be done. Our bodies have put themselves through the uphill. They're feeling a little bit tired, a little bit sweaty. So we keep thinking about what else we can let go of to make it a little more easeful on the way down. Lift the left leg up. Knee comes towards left elbow. Maybe there's something in that backpack that you keep carrying. You've been carrying for a really long time, even though it doesn't serve you. Send the head away from the heel. Lower the left foot down. Finding our pulses. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Keep curling the right hip down towards midline. And so those right toes point towards the left heel. Lower down. Other side, keep lengthening through the arms. Lower the foot. Inhale up onto the toes, sweep the body forward into a plank. Exhale, press down through the heels and the palms to shift back. And so we're overcoming the rocks that we've seen on the way up. They're still sticky. They can still be frustrating. But maybe we know how to avoid them this time. Maybe there's a walk around. And stay in down dog. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, lower. Lift. And release. And we see that a viewpoint is coming. We remember we have that time to pause. We drop our knees wide, toes stay tucked. Send the sit bones over the heels, let the forehead drop down to the floor. Perhaps the arms weave through the insides of the legs, palms face up as our shoulders settle down. I invite. Surrender yourself down to the floor. Maybe you take a snack. You slow down that breath. Feel it soft through the shoulders. And sweep the hands ahead of you. Shift your way up. Bring the knees back in line with the heels. We set up for our plank. Option to drop down onto the forearms or drop the knees. Otherwise, we press down through those suction cup hands to rise up through the shoulders. Keep lifting up onto our heels and the back of the knees up towards the sky. Squeeze the hip bones towards one another. Send the top of the head away from the heels. Steady through the breath. Keep squeezing the inner thighs together. We nourish ourselves through the breath, just like we take those sips of water when we hike. Allowing them to keep us hydrated, allowing our tissues to stay nourished, stay engaged. And we exhale the knees down. Walk our hands underneath the shoulders. Knees in line with the hips. Toes stay tucked. Inhale, right leg sweeps back. Option to join with the left arm. Exhale, elbows and knees touch. Inhale, see if you can open through the chest. And exhale to curl. You can turn onto your fist with the right hand if your wrists need a break. Take one more. And lower down. Setting up for the opposite side. Kick the left leg back. Sweep the right arm forward. Exhale to round. Gaze can come towards the belly. And then you open. Reach and lower. And then right leg comes back. Turn the toes. Press through the top of the left hip. We inhale, pulse the right heel up. Exhale, lower to center. Inhale to pulse. Exhale to lower. Keep sending the head away from the heel. Last one. Lower the knee. Switch to the left. Find the alignment, and then you move. Lower the knee. Walk the hands forward. Coming back into a modified plank. As we exhale, we squeeze the ribs in towards, or the elbows in towards the ribs, lower the head. Inhale to press up. Exhale to release down. Keep sending the head away from the knees. 2 more. Stay open through the chest. Stay strong through the core. Squeeze the hip bones towards one another. We hold at the top and round. Open. Press up through the middle of the shoulder blades. One more. Then we exhale our way down to the floor. Curl onto our backs. Bring soles of feet together. Drop the knees wide, palms face up. We're at the final length of the trail. We know we're almost there. Maybe we can even see the road, see the cars. And we keep telling ourselves, I am. I invite. We feel that our back's still strong. And we soften through the front body. Staying receptive and open as we absorb what we are encountering, what we're facing. Hands come under the thighs. Walk our knees up. Find that neutral pelvis. So you take your thumb and your heels of your hands onto the hips, and you make a triangle shape. It should be nice and flat. That's where you want to keep engaged as the knees tuck in. Hands come onto the thighs. Settle through the shoulders. Press the hands into the thighs into the hands. Strong hold. Strong final burn. We stay steady through the breath. We find that ujjayi breath. We feel that ocean of movement as the inhales flow in and the exhales flow out. Stay soft through the throat and the face. Maybe we put a smile on our face, telling ourselves that we'll get through this. And then we press into the left hand. The right leg, right arm reaches long. As we exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, sweep away. Exhale, round in. Right palm faces towards the left. Keep kicking out through the heel rather than the toes. Stay stable through the sit bones. Right hand plants down to thigh. Switch through to the left. And the ground is getting flatter, but there's still the distance. There's still that final push. We keep telling ourselves that we are not. Good. Straighten through the right leg. Option to straighten through the left leg. Inhale to lift. Exhale to switch. We stay engaged through the core. We stay committed to the breath. The soles of the feet come down. We're at the bridge that we started at the beginning. So really small creek, really small bridge to cross. We inhale, lift up the hips. Exhale, release the sacrum down to the floor. Inhale, root down through the feet, maybe lift up the toes. Exhale to lower. Keep squeezing that imaginary block between the thighs, lifting up through the chest. Then we settle our way onto the floor. Plant our hands onto our hips. We inhale, curl the pelvis up. Exhale, lower sit bones to the floor, lift up through the belly. We rock through the pelvis. So we're quite a subtle movement. And we arrive at our car. Drop the knees in. The feet can walk out really wide. Palms release down, facing up. We close the eyes. And we know that this car is here to take us wherever we want to go. And we can bring into the car whatever we want to. We can leave anything else outside. Leave it at the mountain. Whatever we haven't left at the peak on the way up or on the way down, we can leave it in the parking lot. We want this car to be full of whatever will drive us to where we want to be. And I invite. And you can stay here for as long as you need. Or you can take the legs long, coming into a full Shavasana. Surrendering your whole body down to the mat. And your whole front body receiving your intention. Inviting the stillness, inviting the silence. And sometimes we let the weight of the past, the weight of the labels we've created for ourselves, to make our pathway that much harder to travel. That peak that we seek comes that much further away. We can use this mat to explore the negative patterns, the thoughts, the tension we hold in our body. We can use this practice to try and shift perspectives, to invite in the labels that we want for ourselves, rather than clinging and grasping on to those that exist. And it's not easy, that's why we call it a practice. If we honor that and allow ourselves to explore without guilt, without shame, without expectation, we expand our potential. Inhale, repeating your intention. Exhale, taking a moment to think about transferring it into your daily routine. From my heart to yours, thank you so much for joining me on this climb.
These videos are made through love and hard work. Your contributions allow me to keep sharing new content with you. If you're able to give back financially, please click the Make a Donation button on the homepage of this channel. You're also welcome to subscribe to stay up to date on the latest video offerings. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Don't be Kona!